What's going on, YouTube? We're back at it for another video, and today we're doing a guide on the Mohgwyn Palace, essentially the most hated blood loss area. You're going to have a grand time in this area. You'll see as we go through the guide. But we're going to be starting at the Palace Approach Ledge Road. Goodness, that's a whole mouthful right there. But not too much to cover with this one. Let's get straight into it. Now, from that Lost Graves point, we're going to see a whole lot of those frog people. Now, in this area, though, there is a new type of frog. Now, you're not going to be a big fan of this guy. Trust me, he's a prickly little cactus, him. And there's a whole lot of them, and they do the cartwheel with that prickly. Oh, God. I'll tell you right now, the amount of times I have. Ooh, it's not a fun one. And it only gets worse from here, people. Trust me, this is not going to be your favorite zone. Luckily, it's fairly short, and there is a sweet ending to it, not a bittersweet one. But, goodness, there is more than a few things inside of this area that are not only deadly, but in large pack numbers. But, you know, you don't necessarily need to kill everybody on this whole walkway at the beginning, but, you know, that's just how I rolled the first time through. I just kill everything, make sure I get all the runes from it. Essentially, you know, I'm trying to go for Elden Lord, really trying to slay everything out there. Just be the top dog apex predator out here. But anyways, before we head down that walkway, there's going to be an opening on our left side. We'll need to jump on through that, and then we'll see these chickens of death. Now, these guys have blood loss ability to them, and whew, man, I'm going to tell you right now, this is karma for every time that I've ever ordered Chick-fil-A. You know, some KFC, went out there and got those Popeyes chicken. Because these chickens, whew, they're not only frying me up, but they're really putting me in my place more than a few times. You'll see it coming up. But just back from that chicken. Luckily, we took the first one down, but they're still painstakingly irritating. We'll have a GLOVEWORT, and just over here, there is a bug, actually. You can fall off over here. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Now, if you do come down here, don't do what I did, which is jump over the edge. Just spawn back at the Lost Graves location. You know, I don't know what I was thinking, because now, what's even worse about this is as soon as I run back, all of my runes are going to be on the... Well, I guess I could have jumped down. I didn't even think about it. Well, that's one of my idiot moments. You know, I could have jumped down, grabbed them, and then went to the Lost Graves, but I pretty much just said it's over. Now, we'll get a couple of roses right there for crafting material, and there's going to be a pack of dogs over here. But since we got kicked off of a horse, we have one of those invasion moments. Now, this is going to be... for this guy, it's not too... Well, you know, I say he's not too hard, and then I just got ripped. He's not too hard, but... he can be quite deadly. Well, besides that point, we made quick work of him, give him the old 1-2 with the, well, you know, we gave him a good squatting. But we'll get a couple of pieces of gear off him. One that's going to be that helmet that does increase our faith. But there's going to be more than one of those interactions with one of those invasions. Now, I'm not 100% certain how the invasion works. I don't know whether or not I've truly been invaded before, but this one right here, this one area seemed like I did get invaded twice. But up just ahead over on the left side, we've got another one of those STONESWORD keys. And we're going to have another one of these chickens. Now, lucky enough, he'll just be jumping down. Make quick work of him. But just around the right corner, we'll also get a talisman over here that's going to... couldn't even read it. It's getting too fast for me. Something to do with holy resistance damage, I believe. Or it was lightning. One of the two... I'm sure you can read it. But over here on the right side, we're going to have two different of these angry little chickens. And they're going to stomp you out, trust me. This is not going to be an easy fight right here. Two of them, you know, you just keep seeing those legs come down. It is absolutely frustrating. And then they flop onto the ground, and they start biting, and they just, look at him. God, man, it's just instant. And then it just happens again. You know, the rage just keeps going. I mean, that bar is full right now. We've overblown it. And I mean, I come over here again and I get my revenge. Now, we've got two items over here as well. But we finally put that one down. Over here on the right, we've got some more crafting material. Some of that feces stuff. Excrement, as they call it. Apparently, that's what the chickens are plopping out around here. But we get that secondary one. And he starts doing that bitey thing again. And then he just picks you up, and he starts snapping at you. I mean, it just happens time and time again. I mean, look at him. They're just toying with me at this point. I just don't even understand it. The frustration level is way too high in this area now. I get him down. I get my revenge. No, don't you worry about it. But then it just comes down to the dogs, and you think, it's just this pack of dogs over here. There's a whole nother pack coming at us. All right, it just gets bad, even worse. By this point, I've thrown the controller out the window. I'm infuriated beyond belief. It's one of those Elden Ring moments. We all have it. But I push back out, and this time, instead, I cut around to the middle portion, and I just cut straight right. I'm just looking to bypass those two. I'm just trying to run past them, get my runes back. We'll also see a golden rune and a smithing stone over here in the middle. And yet again, we have an invasion moment. Well, I've got a pack of dogs on me. We've got the chicken on me, and you're going to see him. He's just going to walk up. He looks exactly like the guy I just faced. So I'm kind of confused at this point as to whether or not this is actually a real one or still an NPC. But yet again, this time we come back at it again. All right, this may happen to you. Hopefully you are going to get the best of this area. I'm going to believe in you, all right? You can make it. You can get it done without the probability of chickens getting you every other time. But this time we're going to head over to the right. We're going to jump over onto this ledge. We're going to grab up a golden seed. And yet again, we've got another one of those invasion moments. But this time we're ready. Taking that guy down. Yeah, that's right. I just like watching this back right now. Just put him down. That's right. Get another one of those finger thingies. And then we'll keep proceeding forward. Now over on the left, I believe we're going to have some more of those consumables. And over to our right is where we're going to be heading. But yet again, we've got another invasion from what seems like the same person. I can't tell whether it's real or not. But I've never had a moment where it's 3 times in a row. Now, I best him right here. Now, if that's a real player, he's getting... we try to be professional on YouTube, but he's getting his can kicked in. But yet again, after we finish him off, the dogs and the chickens get the better of us. Now, we've set back again. We skipped past everything. We just went along the right side, avoided everything, and now we're back into the area with a multitude of these red frogs. They get pretty prickly like a cactus. Frustrating. Frustrating is what this area is going to be. Now, you can summon inside of this area, and I'd highly suggest it. The pack volume is going to be very large in the area coming up. Now, this is exactly where we came down from. You could essentially just walk down the straight path, now that I think about it, instead of going past everything. But just over here on the right, we'll have another one of those scarabs, giving us another Ash of War. And just in the back there, I believe, is another smithing stone, but it could be a golden orb or golden rune. Yep, nope, somber smithing stone. I'm getting the memory right on this one. Now, just over here on the right, we'll have another one of those gloveworts. A couple of them down in this cave. Do be sure to take these guys out before we start heading with the pack. We've got another one of those blood loss skills coming from just inside there, but this is where you really want to pop that summons out. There's quite a few guys around this tree. They've all got a bit of range with their spear, halberd type weapons, and they're all doing cartwheels. Some of them are going to start getting that prickly nature to them. You're going to need backup from that summons. Now, arguably, you probably could get it done without them, but at the same time, it's going to be a whole lot more frustrating if you don't have that summons with you. Now, you may get one of their weapons off of them, but I don't think it's that great. We'll get another crafting material right there, and on our left over here, another one of those heroic runes, gold runes. Can't remember the name of it right now. But following along that right ledge, or right wall, right rock face, whichever you'd like to call it. I've had a lot of caffeine by this point, guys. Really kicking into gear. But over here on the right, we're going to keep following along. We'll have some more crafting material, essentially. Now, there's going to be some summon type enemies over here. Some of these red frogs, we'll point that out here in a second. But we'll double back into the area, pick up the rest of the loot that we haven't grabbed up previously. And I think that's just about everything from this area. Now, over here, in front of the giant skeleton that's getting summoned, we'll have a couple of items, smithing stone and that golden orb. Now, you don't want to go facing off with the skeleton. You want to take down the red guy with the horn type of club device. He's the one spawning them, so as soon as you kill him, boom, we're going to be taking care of that giant skeleton. So be sure to focus in on those guys for the most part. Avoid trying to phase tank some of those skeletons. You know, you could take them down, but it's just going to be a whole lot more work. Not really worth your time. Just going to be eating up a lot more time. Now, it's going to be another one over to the right. Now, in front of us is going to be 2 of them spawning in front of us. You know, do not go head on. Instead, what you want to do is head over to the left. Take this one guy down. Try to avoid the long-range damage of the other skeleton. Now, just over here on this left, just right of us, this little tree trunk, that's where he's going to be at. Now, I completely missed him, but lucky enough, he does jump down, get in my face as I'm trying to take this down because I couldn't see him. It's a lot of brush, you know, a lot of trees. He's kind of getting blocked out, but since we passed him, you know, we got the aggro, we got him down here. Boom, we're able to take that down fairly quickly, grab up another one of those sacramental buds, got another butterfly right there, and we're going to keep pushing forward from here. Now, I believe that was everything from this area. Don't remember too much else in this area. But heading up over here to our right, we're going to have, well, check out the left side, just a bit more of that crafting material, a few more mushrooms. And just right here, we're going to have the map for this area. We don't really need it. Doesn't really show us all that much. And trust me, it's a pretty linear path, so you're not really going to get lost in this area except for that first portion back there. Now, just up here, we'll have another one of those lost graces. And just up ahead, we're going to have a lot of these common zombie-like enemies that, once we kill them, will explode. Now, some of them will charge us, but it's like 1 or 2 here or there. You can honestly just run past all these guys. Now, I thought I'm going to have to take them all down. You know, I've had experience with these guys before. They'll grab onto you, start biting your neck. I thought that was going to happen, and then they exploded. Essentially, there's like 1 or 2 of them that'll charge you, and the rest of them, I mean, they're just having a happy-go-lucky day. They could care less about you. They're just kind of wandering around, feeling good. You know, they've got blood everywhere. You know, they're not feeling like exploding, except for a couple of them. They want to live, I suppose. But after we've taken down more than a few of them, we'll head over here to the right. We've got another smithing stone. You know, I'm just wasting my time right here. There's really not much to be gained from this when it comes to runes. I'm really just eating up a lot of time here. I've tried to speed this up as much as possible because here in a moment we'll get to a point where, you know, I've pretty much cleared the area, but I get trolled by another person riding on the ground. Just don't listen to them. Sometimes you should listen to them, but most of the time it's a negative. Over here on the left we'll have another one of those, forget the name of some type of golden rune. Now over here on the right you can jump back here, but you can't jump out. Do not jump back here, please. It's essentially just a waste of time moment. I've had to essentially go back to the Lost Graves, but now you'll notice, you know, we got 1 or 2 guys just charging us. The rest of them, we're just able to just move through like nothing's even happened. We'll have a giant sludge creature over here that's going to have the blood loss ability. Fairly easy to take this guy out. It's not very devastating, you know, avoiding his damage, not too hard at all. I somehow got up underneath him and was able to take him out fairly quickly. Got a little bit of a consumable right there from underneath him as well. And just up here on the right, I believe it's another one of those stone sword keys. Boom, picking that up. Then we'll be doubling back and we'll be heading into this cave over here. I can't remember. I believe there's something on the left first. Yep, we've got another one of those roses. Good crafting material right there. Then we'll head into this dark dungeon-esque area. And we'll head over to the left first, because there's nothing on the right. No hidden walls back here, sadly enough. But we'll have some blood loss enemies in here. They are not the most deadly, but can be very frustrating. So do be mindful of that if they do get you in that moment. Lucky enough, there is a checkpoint instead of going all the way back to that Lost Grace just outside of the main doorway to this dungeon area. So we'll be able to walk in. But over here on the left side, we'll have another one of those merchants inside here. Grab up that Lost Ash of War, maybe the Rune Arcs, and I'd highly suggest grabbing up all of those stone sword keys. Never can have too many of them. But from that point, we'll have another one spawn just behind us, and every time that they spawn in, they'll have this blood stuff on the ground. That will hurt you, so be mindful of that. Over here on our left side, we're going to have another, you know, one of those golden runes. I saw it glow in orange. I was so mad when I picked it up. Oh, God, I can't tell you how mad I was when I just noticed it. It was not an item. That was actually legendary. My opinion, it's like a joke seeing that glowing on the ground and then getting just runes out of it. But over here on the right, we're going to have that somber smithing stone. We'll be heading up along the left side. Now, a couple of these guys will spawn behind you. There'll be a little sound effect that'll be going along with that. You'll notice it, trust me. But from this point over to our right, going to have another one of those gloveworts. And just before heading up here on the left, we're going to have to jump over here on the right. Now, there's going to be a large pack of those zombie-like people over here. Now, that's just deviling back to the entrance. But over here on the right, we're going to have a huge amount of these guys. It's kind of crazy. But over here on the left, we'll have one of those supreme gloveworts, the ones that are top tier right there. Going to be perfect for max upgrading one of those summons that you have. But from that point, we'll be doubling back, heading up towards that left side, and we'll be heading out into the main area just before the boss fight itself. Now, in this main area, we've got one item that is extra special. Ooh. But it's guarded by quite a few enemies. Do be ready for this, and sadly, you cannot use your summons for this moment. We will have one of those blood-lost creature guys that we faced down in that dungeon, and a whole lot of those red frogs. Be careful with this one. There's more than a few of them, and they're doing cartwheels everywhere. So you kind of want to kite them back. Some of them will do the prickly spike thing, like the cactus, and actually shoot it out, so be aware of that. Very frustrating right there. Won't exactly do the most damage to you, but in some moments, if you're getting ganged up by some of these guys, that could be that one final hit that, or all that was needed in order to push you back. But after you've taken them all down, once we get over here to this monolith, we'll be able to open this chest and we'll get the somber ancient dragon smithing stone. Finally, level 10, immediately my eyes are lit up right here. We're heading all the way back to EG immediately. We're getting that level 10 Bloodhound Fang. Go time. Now that's the stuff right there. Booming. We've got serious damage now, people. It really isn't that big of an increase, but feels good to finally have that maxed out. Now over here on the right, we'll have a lift that's going to lead us up to the boss fight. Now this boss fight, not the hardest, but there are some things that we need to talk about when it comes to tips with dealing with this guy. Obviously, I used the summons for this fight. Not trying to make it harder than it should be, or than I want it to be, honestly. Because this fight, you could do it without a summons. Probably fairly easy. He does a lot of blood loss abilities. His attacks are devastating, but they're very slow. They're not going to be, they're not exactly chained reaction. There's only one moment that'll happen. Once he starts doing a couple of attacks, he'll start doing these rings around you, which are essentially going to be these stacks that at the point once he hits about mid-health, if you have 1 to 3 of these rings, he's going to start leeching the life off of you, and it's going to be some devastating damage. Now, you'll notice I've got 1 ring around me right now. He's got 2 of them on me. We're getting close to that mid-health. Now, wait for it. I'm waiting for him to do the action to where he starts draining that life from us. You'll notice it here in a second. Once he starts lifting his... Or no, that's not it. It's once he... Yeah, whole screen goes red in this moment. Just start health potting like crazy. Just keep sucking it down, all right? He's trying to steal all of our life right here. We got the IV bag straight back in, filling ourselves back up. And, he's going to grow wings. He's obviously a little bit above half health at this point. He's going to leave a little bit more of the lingering damage around. But as long as you got that summons with you, he's going to be aggroing it quite well. We'll be able to take him down fairly quickly. He's going to do the raining blood. He's going to throw the blood. He's going to throw some flames here and there, but at the end of the day, as long as you got that summons with you, as long as you're applying enough damage, and especially after just getting that upgrade to 10, we're making quick work of this guy. And we'll get a great rune out of this, and also a remembrance out of this guy that gives us the ability to grab up his spear or one of his blood abilities. I believe it's the one where he kind of slashed through the... No, it wasn't the one that slashed through the air. We got that from somebody else. This is the one where you sling the blood on the ground, create that blood loss and constant damage over time whenever somebody's sitting inside of it. And just beyond him is an egg where I believe he actually resides. Apparently that was like I don't know whether or not it was a projection of himself through the blood itself. But from this point, if you head back to the round table and talk to the main knight guy, I can't remember his name, he'll give you a couple of spells for giving him the information that you've found this area and that you've slayed him. You want to go through that dialogue sequence. Something gets talked about there with when it comes to possibly destroying that egg, I believe. I haven't figured it out just yet, But I like to leave some things a little bit mystery when it comes to these guides. Don't want to spoil everything, but that may be something to look into a little bit later on. You know, something to possibly search up or try and find some way to destroy it. Could be some type of altering moment when it comes to the end of the game, or possibly how you progress going forward. Maybe less boss fights, maybe more boss fights. Not 100% certain at this time. But that's going to be the Mohgwyn Palace guide right there, guys. Like I said before, not a whole lot with this one, but there's more than a few things that we grabbed up out of here that is going to be extremely beneficial for us going forward. And I highly suggest going through this area before going to the Haligtree. Now, I haven't got the Haligtree guide done just yet, but that'll be coming later this day, or today on Saturday, if you're watching this today. But that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to see some of this content live, hit that link down in the description. Follow me up over at Twitch. We'll be streaming tonight after I get that Haligtree out there tonight. We're going to be doing that 8-hour stream. No, I've been a little bit off the stream for the past couple of days, but that's just because crunching for time, trying to get some of these videos out as well. It's been a busy week, but we're back in action. We're caught up, ready to start going back into that daily routine of 8 hours a day and steady trying to pump out those videos as we progress through the game. But hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helped you out, and have a good one.